you. I'm 39 for the 10th time. Because I decided at 39 I would stop. Oh, stop.
Birthday, dear Justin. Happy birthday to you.
This was Dr. Hill's birthday gift to me. Would you speak? And he sits in the front row with that Cheshire cat grin. Oh, how many were excited about the announcement yesterday about the new AromaTouch Technique? You should be. This is going to be a phenomenal, I'm going to call this rocket fuel for our businesses. How many of you attended one of the Evolve Tour events? Raise your hand. Okay, so about half, keep them up, about half the room. Okay, excellent. So this, you know, we've been building up for this for months and months, and actually for years in the background, but publicly for months and months to get this ready and to come to this big announcement yesterday of here you go, right? Here's the new program, there's the new kit. By the way, did you all catch that there's a 15 ml deep blue? Okay, you see Dr. Hill, you give him a high five for that. You see Megan up here in the front row, you give her a high five for that. She had to beat up lots of people to make that happen. Right, but she's like, you know, right? But it's super, super exciting to have that. And then notice that you're getting 3 times the oil. You know, the price before was $150 for the program, and you got all 5 mLs. And now it's $246, but you're getting all 15 mLs. So you're getting triple the oil, right? Triple the oil plus the course and all of its amazing content, all by Dr. David Hill. Right? So you're going to learn it from the master. This is going to be an incredible journey. And one of the biggest questions that, or comments that we received during that tour was that now we had provided a roadmap answering the question, what do I do? A lot of people were, I've been out of this for several years. I've been on pause for several years, and I literally don't remember, like, what do I do? What do I go out and say? What do I got to do, right? So my friends, we give you permission to unclick the pause button. And we're giving you a system to do that, okay? Just a AromaTouch away, right? Now, part of the reason this is working so well is the power of connection. And you heard Dr. Riggs pretty much covered that really beautifully this morning and how important that is. And I remember once in teaching an AromaTouch class, when we were done, I always like feedback, right, from the audience, from the participants. And I remember a dear woman, and she just started crying. Those of you that know me, I'm a social crier. If anyone's crying, I'll just jump right in. And I don't even need to know why. I'll be there. I'm with you. And she's crying, and we're all crying, and I don't know her or her story or anything. And she just makes this comment. She says, "This is the first time I've been touched by another human being in over 3 years." This was before the pandemic, right? So we forget sometimes how powerful that is, how powerful that connection is. And this equation, this, by the way, is courtesy of Brooke Magleby, who you're going to hear from next. And I thought this was phenomenally accurate. That connection plus education with a duplication model equals retention. That is the AromaTouch. That is the AromaTouch. So creating that connection. So critically important. Another thing that's really important is this journey of hope to believe. So a lot of people join doTERRA, the majority I would say, join doTERRA because they hope for a change. They hope for something better in their life. They hope for improvement in their health, in their circumstances, whatever it is. So that gets them in, right? So the hope gets them in, but then it is critical. Hope won't keep people around. Think that it will, but it's actually not going to. It isn't strong enough. So we have to walk this journey, and the next step in that is experience, right? They've got to have some kind of positive experience, and of course we're talking AromaTouch, right, for that experience. And when they have that experience, they're going to want to increase their knowledge. They're going to want to learn more. They're going to ask the right questions. All of this is going to build their belief. And when we make that journey from hope to belief, it's a significant transition. And this is what locks people in, right? And then as their belief increases, what naturally happens is they become more confident. And when they become more confident, they take action, they do something. And when they do something, guess what happens ultimately? Results. Results. Now, yesterday we introduced all this. It was fabulous, it was wonderful, but we didn't really get into the how. Right? We just kind of said, well, here it is. Here's the new program. How do you use it? Yeah, how do you use it? So, Brooke's going to go more in depth into that in just a moment, but I want to talk about the invitation because the invitation is really important. And I want to just reference you to the business building guide. You can download this for free from doTERRA. Honestly, the easiest way to find it is just go to your web browser and type doTERRA BBG, business building guide, doTERRA BBG, and we'll pull it right up. Okay, it's super easy. You can download it, but there's an entire 10-page section in here on inviting and how to properly extend an invitation. And guys, that is really important. If there's a skill set you could get really good at to help elevate your success levels, it's in extending the invitation. There are things you do, there are things you say that really do make a difference. Okay, words that you use, words that you shouldn't use, and so forth. And so reference this, and then also we're going to give you some tried and true and proven, I'll call them scripts, okay? But we want you to make them your own. Have any of you ever received a phone call from someone trying to market to you? And you can tell they're reading what? A script. My favorite is when they're like, hello, name here. They even forgot to put your name there. Right? And you can tell because it's just canned, right? It's not authentic. You can feel it inside spiritually. And so we're going to give you some scripts. Brooke's going to talk about 3 primary programs, 3 ways that you can use the AromaTouch. These are your invitations. So go ahead and take pictures of these. We are going to be posting all of this on the AromaTouch website very soon. Okay, so know that it's coming there, but make this your own. Okay, I don't want any of you to use this word for word. It's more of a sample or a guide, if you will. Make it your own. People need to feel like it's sincere and genuine. So this one in particular is inviting someone to come and experience the hand technique. Guys, the hand technique is so powerful in a class setting. Okay? It isn't often feasible to do the full AromaTouch with a group of people, especially a larger group of people. But the hand technique can be done anywhere, with any size of group. We did it with 500 people in the room, okay, during these tour events, right? And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this script is the invite, okay? It's the invite. This next one is to invite someone to actually come and receive the full-on AromaTouch technique. Okay? If done properly, this script, this invite, can bring you new customers, new customers, new customers. How many of you in this room, by the way, have never, ever received the full AromaTouch technique? Raise your hand. You've never, ever received it. Keep them up. Half of you. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. All right? Finally, the third script. The third script is to come and invite them to come and see a demonstration. And this one's kind of mean, quite honestly. Because when you come and see a demonstration, you're watching someone else receive bliss. And it's not you. And the whole time you're thinking, I wish that was me. That's the point. Okay? That's the whole point. Is they are supposed to leave wanting more. Okay? You've won at that point. Right? And this will invite them to be able to come and have that experience. Okay? All right. I'm going to turn the show over to Brooke Mallory. I want to tell you something about Brooke. There are probably less than 3 people I can think of in this world that are more passionate about the AromaTouch technique than Brooke Mallory. I would say she is our #1 AromaTouch evangelist in doTERRA. So, Brooke, give us our outlines.
Too sweet. Too sweet. I love AromaTouch technique. I truly do. But the reason I love it is because of what Dr. Riggs just shared with us this morning. People need it. They need it. Like, as you guys were raising your hand, I'm like, how long would it take me to give every one of them an AromaTouch? It's not possible, but trust me, if I could, I would. Because I know the power of the technique and what it can actually do for people. And I am excited. So many of you that have come and participated in our events the last 2.5 months, you've seen it, right? And we serve, sell to serve. Okay? And as we serve people and we give them those experiences, magical things happen. And we are in the experiential marketing business. How many of you have given someone a sample bottle of essential oil? Right? Everyone. How many of you know for certain that person used that bottle and had a good experience? You know what? That was less than 5% of the hands that were raised saying I gave a sample bottle. Because what happens when we give a sample bottle to people is we don't always know. We don't know if they used it, we don't follow up with them, right? The list goes on and on. But AromaTouch Technique is an experience. It's an essential oil experience that you know for certain they received. Is that powerful? That is powerful. Dr. Hill talks about the fact that the AromaTouch Technique is the most meaningful model of introduction to essential oils. It is reliable, safe, and powerful. Are we in the need right now of some meaningful connection? Meaningful belief? Absolutely. So, the hand technique class outline. My purpose today is to give you something. I gotta tell you, I am super excited about the new Sun doTERRA line. I am so excited about it. And I'm really excited about the new customizable option for kits. I am super excited about that. I have to wait clear till June to do something about that? I'm starting next week, right? I'm gonna go home from this and I want something that I can do right now. And AromaTouch is something you can do right now. As a matter of fact, there's someone that I will talk about later. She has an AromaTouch class scheduled tomorrow. She's not waiting. Okay? So we can do something right now, not only to build our businesses and to grow and everything else, but to build connection and to help people and to heal. So, an AromaTouch, I'm going to give you 4 ways that you can get started right now, okay? And these are, I kind of go with low, medium, and high, okay? Time-wise, energy-wise, all of those things, okay? But every single one of these are incredibly powerful if you'll utilize them. So, an AromaTouch hand technique class. Something like this is super simple, you guys. Less than an hour, especially for people who maybe are still really nervous to get outside their homes, right? When we were up in Bellingham, Washington, so many people raised their hand. It was the first event of any kind outside of their homes they've been to in over 2 years. So we still are trying to get people out of hibernation, right? So this is an opportunity to do that. Have a little tea gathering, have a chocolate tasting, whatever it might look like. But is everyone open to a little relaxation or a little stress relief? Absolutely. So this can be super simple, super quick, but don't underestimate the power of hand technique. When we were in Atlanta, we would give the AromaTouch hand technique, right? We were teaching people how to do it. And there was a woman sitting in the front, and she was just sitting like this. She wasn't looking at anyone, and she was refusing to partner up. I didn't know that. I just walked up to her and said, hey, you need a partner. So I turned my chair around. She's like, no, I don't. I said, yeah, I'll be your partner. Which hand would you like? She says, I'm fine. Oh, is it okay? I would love to give you the hand technique. She said, fine. Okay. It didn't last. It was what, 5-10 minutes of me giving her this AromaTouch hand technique and just asking her questions and getting to know her. Simple. We used one oil. It wasn't anything like a big, massive experience, but it was just simple. But at the end, she looked me straight in the eye with tears in her eyes, and she said, thank you for getting to know me. Was that a powerful, meaningful, essential oil experience for her? Yes, absolutely. So do not underestimate how 1 hour of showing someone and giving someone a AromaTouch hand technique can absolutely transform them. How many of you have skeptics in your lives? Yeah, we all do, right? We all do. This is Jerry. I was in a class and every single oil I would talk about, he said, that didn't work for me. That didn't work for me either. Okay? We all have skeptics. The AromaTouch technique, though, is such a powerful experience for people that it can build the bridge for our skeptics that would not otherwise potentially be open to using essential oils. That's what happened with Jerry. I gave him an AromaTouch technique. He was my demo person the next day. It was so powerful for him. He wanted to stay and learn how to do it for his wife. So wonderful opportunities to give, to receive, to serve. Okay, easy to do. Just really quickly on that slide, this is how you would go about doing something like that, like in a class setting, giving or giving an AromaTouch technique. One of the things that I think is really, really important with AromaTouch is setting it up properly. It is not a massage. Don't ever use that word to describe it, because that puts an idea in people's head of what to expect, right? This is a clinical application of essential oils. It's a light touch, and we want them to, it's on their back and it's on the feet, and we want them to be very comfortable. So make sure that you set that up properly, and this is just a little bit of an outline on how to do that, okay? An AromaTouch demonstration class. This is a little bit longer experience for someone. This is about a 2-hour type of experience, all right? And you're going to have people come. If you are not super comfortable just yet giving the AromaTouch technique, and I will say it takes a little bit of practice to give and actually talk it through at the same time, right? It takes a little bit of work. Partner up with someone. Have them explain what it is that you're doing while you're giving and while people are watching. Right? It gives an opportunity for you to collaborate with other people. And you can show some of the introductory videos on the online training for people. Let Dr. Hill be the spokesperson. You don't have to know every aspect of this, right? Show them a little piece of how he explained the AromaTouch technique and give that demonstration to people. It can be a really powerful experience for people who are brand new to essential oils. Having them come and actually watch that happen, inevitably everybody's like, I feel relaxed just watching this. Yeah, that's the point. Okay, but it also gives you an opportunity to what? Schedule them to experience. Do you see where we're going with this? Right? There's steps that can continue, and we can duplicate this. Then we could go to a larger version, right? Which is an AromaTouch workshop. This is really the perfect follow through. Rather than following up, they've already had experiences. They've had a hand technique experience. They've had experienced the AromaTouch technique, hopefully by then. They've watched how it happens. They've hopefully at that point in time said, well, I want to learn how to do this for my family. I have people who need this. We all have people who need this. So now we can do a workshop because they get the kit, they learn the online training, which the benefit to that, when we were doing in-person trainings, half of the day was spent with us lecturing and trying to explain the technique and the process and the wording and the terminology. Now, if they've already taken the online course, which they would have to do in order to come to this event, see what we did just there? Yeah. They can't come to this in-person workshop where they give and receive until they've finished the online course, because we want them to already have that understanding. So that when they come, because I mean, we all learn virtually, that's great, but guess what? As soon as you get hands-on, you are in, right? And also for some people, they need that hands-on to really truly understand how it feels and everything. So by doing something like this, they already know all that stuff. They've come into it. You're just gonna be able to focus on really fine-tuning their skills and sharing experiences. What does Justin always tell us? Stories? Yeah, stories, right? And this is an opportunity for us to share those experiences and those stories. So, such an exciting opportunity, right, for us to do these kinds of things. It ensures that they have an experience, there's some consistency there, and it builds community. It builds that connection with our teams. So, creating an inviting experience is really, really important in these events. One of the things that we would do when we were talking with our trainers, we would talk about how to create a really beautiful and inviting experience, right? And so there are some key things and questions that we get asked. This is a light touch. Confident contact is what we call it. So we want people to know that this is not a massage, we're not getting in and needing tissue or anything like that. Whether this is one-on-one or in a group setting, either works, okay? We don't want you to feel like now you have to host 15 people or 30 people or 50 people. 3 people in your living room and 1 massage table work, guys. That's it. It doesn't have to be massive. It can even be just a one-on-one experience. So don't be going out and renting hotel rooms and stuff like that. Keep it simple, all right? modesty and comfort is of paramount importance, all right? We want people to feel really comfortable. Did you guys see those beautiful cover-ups in the marketplace? So easy, right? But we want people to feel comfortable. We want them to know that it's going to be on their back and on their feet. Their comfort is, of course, really important. Now, if we don't have a massage table, is there other ways that we can do the AromaTouch technique? Absolutely. We get a lot of questions. Is it safe for pregnant women? Is it something that I can do if someone can't lay on a massage table? Absolutely. There's lots of ways to do that, whether they sit, backwards on a chair or whatever that is. There's ways to make that work, okay? Be really clear with your communication. Talk a little bit about the oils that you're going to be using. Share a little bit about balance and lavender and explain why. You will have taken the online certification training at that point in time, right? So you'll be able to share that information with them. Creating a peaceful environment. The preparation really is key to going into that. And then always, always have a follow-up offering. We'll talk about more of that later. But there's an opportunity with AromaTouch when someone has an experience, they always ask questions. It's not just about AromaTouch. We know what it does, we know the power that it has, but it's going to transition them into asking, well, what about this? What about this person? What about this product, right? So we have an opportunity to really expand their horizon at that point in time. And then, of course, it's an opportunity for duplication. So many times when we were doing our in-person trainings, it was just us and them. Now, every single one of you can be AromaTouch advocates. It's not just me, okay? And I invite you to join me in that process, all right? So there are some future opportunities coming. We are going to have some corporate hands-on workshops for people who have completed the online training. And we're going to model that for you as well, right? So that you can see how you can be able to do that in your own communities and back home and in your circle in your teams. And then, of course, we would encourage you to utilize the hand technique and other things within your teams to build community. Have service days. There's many people. My mom did this in her location up in Idaho, and they went to an assisted living home with her team members and just gave AromaTouch hand techniques that day. What a beautiful team building experience and the service-oriented experience, right? Connection and education really do build retention. And this is a duplication model. As a matter of fact, we've had lots of people who have communicated with us since we've been out talking about AromaTouch the last couple of months and sharing their experiences that they've already been putting things into action. Ari Lauer is one of those, and with her permission, she gave me this ability to share this with you, and she said that after attending the event in Atlanta, she hit the door running. She has had 7 personal enrollments since this month alone, just by giving AromaTouch techniques, just by following those scripts and inviting people and giving AromaTouch techniques. She is also utilizing the AromaTouch as an incentive for her team. She's using it to get to Founders Club 2.0, because anybody who is, that enrolls with her and creates that VIP experience, part of that VIP experience of growing with her is that she gives them an AromaTouch technique every month. That they do their 125 PV order. Are we starting to see some of the powerful opportunities with AromaTouch, right? But I will tell you this. For me, the most powerful opportunity with AromaTouch will always be within the walls of my own home, for the family and friends that I love. Because after what Dr. Eric shared with us today, we know people who desperately need this. And if you understand AromaTouch technique and what it can do, you know there is not a living soul on the planet walking right now who does not need it. All right, so we have a call to action. Justin, do you want to help me with this?
Love to, thank you, Brooke. Did you know that the fastest person to diamond in Japan focused exclusively on AromaTouch? That was their duplication model. Our Asian markets have seemed to really capture the power of AromaTouch better than the rest of us in the world have, right? They have really, and this is before, they don't even have this evolution of the AromaTouch program, right? They're begging for it. You're gonna move to China, I hear. You didn't know that. No, I'm just kidding. Dr. Oswald was like, no. It's going to be, let me rephrase that. Now, in this new format, this becomes my primary duplication model. You get that? Like, this is what we're doing in my office. We're doing AromaTouch. Because AromaTouch gets people in and always leads to the next question, like we talked about yesterday, right? Because now we have our gateway, okay? They're in. Now let's move, right? Let's move to the next question in improving their health. So here's our calls to action. All of you that raised your hand that said you've never received an AromaTouch,
Don't have enough time.
that Brooke will be out in the hall. Her room number is, no, I'm just kidding. She truly would sacrifice her next week to give all of you.
It would not be a sacrifice, though, I promise. I would give it over and over again all day long.
So obviously she can't do that. So find someone, right? Find someone near you, someone close to you, someone in your team, whoever it is. You need to receive one because it's really hard to talk about it if you've never received it, right? So receive an AromaTouch, that's your first call to action. The second is to give an AromaTouch, which you'll be able to do because you will have gone through the training course that launches next week, right? So you'll be able to do that and you'll be able to share the AromaTouch as a business tool, as a duplication model, and this is going to allow you to move forward, okay? It's going to allow so many of us that have felt like we're stuck in this little hard spot, right? Go out. I remember in the early days, I don't know if Little Shepherd's in this room, but I remember in the early days when AromaTouch first went live and Lil just put on Facebook, I just learned this amazing technique. I need to practice it on 20 people. That's what she said. Right? We didn't make her do that. She got 30 volunteers in 3 hours. Could it be that simple? Could it be? Yes. Okay, the answer is yes. And how fun would this be, Brooke? What are the 4 systemic focus areas that AromaTouch provides a resolve for? What are those 4 areas, Brooke?
Stress, relief,
Okay.
immune support, healthy inflammatory response,
Excellent.
and homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
Favorite word.
That's right. So 4 areas of focus, right? 8 oils, 2 for each area. How cool would it be if, say, we made a way? Brooke's getting Meg's getting really nervous right now. How cool would it be if we had a way to help that bridge from AromaTouch to supplementation? If we made a way, just pause. If we made a way to allow people to just add on the perfect supplement that pairs with that particular issue. So a supplement for stress, something to help with immune support, something to help with inflammatory response, something to help with homeostasis that paired with the AromaTouch. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right?
And make sure that you join us on May 2nd. We're going to be talking about a lot more in depth and answering questions about AromaTouch on the Empowered Sixes and on May 2nd that Justin talked about yesterday. So make sure you join us on that evening.
Awesome. Okay, are you ready? Do you accept the challenge? Do you accept this call to action? Okay, I didn't hear all of you. Okay, thank you for a beautiful birthday present.